DiAnn Mills, and welcome to my world. You know, whenever I tell someone that I'm a writer, I see eyes widen, I hear wow, and I think they even smell money, which is hilarious because I don't know any writer who's in the publishing business to make money. And those people who think that a writer's life is glamorous, trust me, they wouldn't want me balancing their checkbook. And I'm not so sure they would want to spend the hours that I do alone, creating, editing, researching, and having all the wonderful fun that I call my writing world. And you know what else? I think that anyone who is able to create a story understands that none of us do it for a monetary reward. We write. I write because I cannot not write. And I love story. The more I write, the more I learn about myself and this incredible world that we live in. I learn about cultures. I learn about careers. I learn about the way people live and how they view the world. I love it. It's an amazing opportunity. But I also have 3 goals to help me in writing story. The first one is to entertain. I want to show you a character who is memorable, unforgettable. I want you to be that character's cheerleader. I want to entertain. The second goal I have is to inspire readers to be better people, to go after a goal that they didn't feel was conceivable before, but they've read about a character who overcame something insurmountable, and now the reader wants to do an insurmountable task too. And the third goal is to encourage. I want to encourage every reader that through the ending of a story with a satisfactory conclusion, that they are encouraged in whatever they do. Those are the reasons why I create story. I wrote from the time I could hold a pencil. In fact, my first story was on a Big Chief notebook pad. It was yellow, and it was a number 2 pencil. And I wrote a suspenseful Western. At least I thought, for a second grader, that it was suspenseful. But you know, I would never have taken writing seriously, never reached for that goal, that dream, if my husband hadn't challenged me back in 1996. And what happened was, I must have been saying, someday I'm going to write a book. And he looked at me and he said, "Stop telling me that someday you're going to write a book. Quit your job. I give you a year to see if you can get anything published." Well, you know, I'm not one to turn down a challenge. And I said, okay, I will. And I did. I wrote that book. I wrote articles. I wrote devotions. And I sold that first book, and it was released in 1998. But you know, I would never have gotten started if he hadn't challenged me, if he hadn't been my best cheerleader. And I also want to say he was and is my nightmare editor, but it's because he cares, he loves, and he knows how important it is for me to create story, create the best story possible. And I write Christian fiction. And one of the reasons why I love Christian fiction is the fact that many of us have friends and family who are not interested in the ways of God. And I understand that. They're not about to come to church with us. They're not about to come to a small group or a Bible study. And some of them may not even want to come to our homes. because we might say the Jesus word or we might pray. But you know, we can hand those same people a fabulous, dynamic, powerful story in which one or more of the characters solve their problems and face life with a Christian worldview, and we plant seeds. So in many ways, we Christian writers are farmers because we're planting seeds for the kingdom. One of the things that's difficult for me is balance, because I tend to be a workaholic, and when I'm so involved with story, it is hard for me to separate myself from that. Or if I'm involved with social media, I love social media because I love readers. And that is something I just want to talk about for just a moment, because we're talking about DiAnn's writing world here. But we write for readers, and I want to reach readers, and there are so many I will never meet, but I can reach out in social media, find the platforms they're on, and get involved with their world. And I love that. I love making friends on Facebook and Twitter and BookBub and Goodreads and Instagram and Pinterest. I love reaching out to those people who might be interested in a story one day. But that's not the reason why I'm on those social media platforms. I'm there because I want friendship, and there may be something I know that I can help a reader with, and if I can, that is great. So what about my schedule? Now, I don't want you to laugh, but here goes. I'm up at around 4:30 every morning, and I start my day with quiet time with God, Bible reading, scripture, praying. I want to get my marching orders before I get started. And when I've completed that, I grab my laptop and a cup of coffee and a bottle of water, and I'm on the treadmill. So from that early time till about 7:30, I am adding miles to my exercise, and I'm working through all my emails, all my social media, and then I write. And it is amazing because the more I walk on that treadmill, the more the neurons, I think that's what they're called, are firing in my brain, and it really does spark the creativity. I love that. So then breakfast, and probably another pot of coffee, and get myself all cleaned up, and I am back at my desk. I do most of my writing in the morning because that's when I'm the freshest. Lunchtime, and then the afternoon I finish up any writing goals that I've had today, make sure that I have quality word count there. And then I am checking back with social media. I am writing blog posts. I am checking on my various platforms to make sure that I'm responding and commenting. And then I go back to writing. I also mentor students, and so that takes some time in the afternoon. And you know what? When I get all that done, I'm back to writing again. And yes, I cook dinner because preparing dinner allows my plot to cook too. So I can think about what I've written during the day, no matter if it was a blog post or a story or a comment on a writer's lesson. And then after dinner, I pull that laptop back out again because I love story. As I said before, I love story. And that is my daily schedule. My biggest reason for writing Romantic Suspense is because we live in a dangerous and an unpredictable world. And I want to show readers that there are trained people out there who are dedicated, who are committed to making this world safe, and I want to create story around them. I want to show the danger, I want to show how they change and grow, and I want them to find a spark of love. So that's why I write Romantic Suspense. I want to thank you for joining me, and if I were to give you some hints, some tips about the writing world, especially if you're a writer and you are excited and dreaming about getting started, let me give you a few tips. One is to read. I don't care if it's the back of the cereal box. Read the bestsellers. Read in the genre that you want to write. Read a marketing and promotion book. Read a how-to book, but read every day, because we can't compete in the market if we don't know what's out there. The other thing I want to tell you to do is write every day. Don't ever stop writing. I don't care if it's your grocery list. Well, I do care if it's your grocery list, but write a little bit every day and plan it into your schedule. If you're busy with a day job, then you may need to get up earlier or stay up later. Or you may need to brown bag your lunch and write while the rest of the people around you are off having a lunch. Do it then. But what's important is that you allot a little bit of time every day to your writing. So again, thank you for joining me and have a great day.